Ilia Topuria versus Makhachev will not be even near anywhere close. I know that's a hugely controversial statement, so today I'll tell you all about exactly why I think that. MMA fans, winners, good people of the internet, it's MMA buff here and let's get going. I'm aware you just wanna know which side I'll be leaning on and fight me in the comments if we disagree. I promise we will get there very shortly, okay? But before that, I wanna start this off by focusing on Topuria. He has been amazing. I mean, what a stellar rise to the top, no? He has like what, 8 fights in the UFC? 6 of which are finishes, by the way. Of course, the most impressive part is knocking out Volk and Max Holloway back to back. I recall some people saying, okay, Topuria knocked out Old Man Volk with a short turnaround after being sent to the Shadow Realm by Makachev. But guys, come on. This man, Ilia Topuria, cracked Max's chin. The titanium chin we've been talking about for years. Don't get me wrong, Max definitely had his moments in the fight as well. He stood his ground against some blows that would straight up send some other fighters to retirement. Still, at the end of the day, Max Holloway, for the first time in his very long UFC career, was knocked out clean by Ilia Topuria on UFC 308. That's good and all. I think everyone already knows this Topuria guy has some hands for sure. It's not the whole story though. When you take a look at Topuria's early fights before the UFC, he has 7 submission wins along with only 1 knockout. Those 7 submissions are not the same one he just kept catching people with, by the way. There are some rear naked chokes, some triangles, there is even an anaconda choke, so his grappling used to be his main threat, which is kinda weird to look back on, honestly. I think you get my point so far. Thanks to Ilia's roots, when we are talking about Makachev and Topuria, it is just not a situation where a Dagestani wrestler is facing a striker who don't really have lots going on when it comes to grappling. But, and this is a huge but, the same versatility also does apply for Makachev. He's not someone like a Gamrot, for example, who will just hang on to dear life for a decision. Sorry Gamrot for the random stray you are catching right now, but yeah, we've seen Makachev have incredible success on his feet before against names like Volk, Charles Oliveira, and even Dustin Poirier. On top of his very solid stand-up skills, when Islam takes the fight to the ground, he, more often than not, chases the finish, unlike some other boring grapplers as I said. Sorry, please don't hate me too much, but you know it's true. The glaring problem I see for Topuria facing Makachev is that he only has one way to victory, while Makachev has so many. Let me keep it straight, alright? Topuria's power is world-class and most likely the best in the UFC pound for pound. I am well aware of that. Still, there are going to be a question of how well his power is going to translate as he's going up a weight class. I personally think Ilia's boxing is so extremely on point, even if his power turns out to be not that dangerous against Makachev, he has the technique and the speed to catch anyone in the world multiple times. Regardless of if you can take a few good hits here and there, Topuria can and will knock your lights out if you just stand and bang with him for a long amount of time, that is. The reason this fight won't even be close is Makachev undoubtedly knows all of these things. Thus, I'm expecting him to take a much more wrestling and clinch controlling, using his crafty trips from there type of approach, completely unlike what he has been doing in his last few fights. You could say Topuria is a BJJ black belt with lots of submission wins, fair enough. Then I would like to remind you, please go and watch Oliveira vs Makachev. Islam has no problems ground and pounding, controlling, easily submitting BJJ black belts. I acknowledge Topuria has a good grappling base, yet I refuse to even compare him to Charles Oliveira when it comes to being a submission threat, okay? In my mind, this super fight will be a total domination by Makachev. He will eventually take Topuria into deep waters and check his jiu-jitsu black belt like he would say. Makachev has the height advantage, has a much better kicking game at range, and probably going to little bro Topuria in the clinch, or I should just say in the wrestling exchanges. Am I saying an El Matador knockout win is completely impossible? Well, technically not. However, I just think Makachev is too smart and too crafty to get caught against defense like Volk did, for instance. Every single time Topuria gets going with his deadly boxing combinations, the takedown will be right there, along with the finishing threat Makachev brings to the ground. If I'm wrong about all of this, I won't even be sad, because then Topuria's resume will be so great, there will be no shame in being proven wrong by him, if that makes any sense. I just think he's taking too big of a risk moving up a division after only 1 title defense, especially when a guy like Makachev is the champion. I'm not claiming to be the Mr. Know-It-All, I'm 100% open to fresher ideas and perspectives, so let me know what you think down in the comments. I will be there no matter what to read and reply to every single one of them. That is a promise, you can hold me to that, alright? See you in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe for more MMA content just like this one. Cheers!